Welcome to our special live coverage from Washington, D.C., where Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has met with US President Donald Trump during his two-day visit to the US. Our US special correspondent Dastagir Jahangir is joining us from Washington, D.C. to tell us about the latest details. Dastagir, what can you tell us about the big news, especially when it comes to Bangladesh?
Thank you so much, Tulika. Yes, today there was a big day here in Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump welcomed Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi here this afternoon. And inside the White House, there was around 250 news media correspondent, and they first and foremost they talked to the media in the press briefing room, and then later in the red room, so-called red room, that is where the big press briefing is holding. And let me tell you one thing, that when journalist asked President Donald Trump about the situation in Bangladesh, the U.S. government's stance on Bangladesh, President Donald Trump told, "I will leave Bangladesh to PM Modi." That is very straight, and we see this video all over the Facebook and not only Facebook, I mean social media. So this is what is the latest now from the White House.
Yeah, that comment has definitely gone viral, and so many different interpretations are being made about it. A lot of people saying, oh, it's a huge shift in the geopolitics in South Asia because India definitely will get a big say in what happens to Bangladesh next. There's also the other opinion, which is saying that, oh, he was just referring to Prime Minister Modi to answer to what this journalist was saying. You were present there, you were going through the vibe, the atmosphere. What exactly did it mean?
Thank you so much. I wanted to mention this situation. Let me give you not exactly this situation what we were witness, but if somebody ask a question to someone, and if I refer that, okay, please you tell the answer. It was not like that. It was a question about Bangladesh, the situation in Bangladesh, the situation, Islamist extremism, and the press freedom and everything together, and human rights and together. And what is your opinion, President? President told, situation in Bangladesh, it is straight away, I will read it out again. He told, I will leave Bangladesh to PM Modi. It doesn't mean that I will leave this question, I will leave to answer. No, the situation in Bangladesh I leave to handle by the PM Modi, because that is in Bangladesh. If this is a situation of what happening right now, Islamic extremism and so, the most effective country that is India. And that is, President Donald Trump was very clear. And if somebody make any other narrative, definitely that's not true.
Absolutely. You've made a very valid point here that he did not say, I will leave this question to Prime Minister Modi. He said, I will leave Bangladesh to Prime Minister Modi, making very clear that he expects India to take the next step when it comes to Indo-Bangla and the larger South Asian geopolitics. But
Indo-Pacific, even he mentioned Indo-Pacific later.
Indo-Pacific.
Yes.
Absolutely. But when it comes to restoration of democracy in Bangladesh, what would be the possible range of contribution of the US going forward?
If we say about the restoration of democracy in Bangladesh, that is really things we need to know one thing, that contribution or restoration democracy in Bangladesh, the recent meeting between US President Donald Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, I would say they actually, it is not only about the restoration democracy in Bangladesh, it is that that the Indian subcontinent, and especially Bangladesh and India, also in Southeast Asia, they need they the the president clearly told that we will not tolerate, we will together take care that there will be no Islamist extremism in that region. And to restoration of Bangladeshi democracy, that is not only the question. Question is total region. And about Bangladesh, again, I will repeat the same answer what the president told, that Bangladesh, I will leave to PM Modi.
Definitely a very telling statement. And do you think that this joint voice from Modi and Trump will play a big role in curbing Islamic extremism in Bangladesh?
A joint statement or coordinated stance from US and India could send a strong message to Islamic extremists in Bangladesh, especially, the frontliner, who is leading this, Dr. Yunus, signaling increased international scrutiny and pressure. Given India's regional influence and the US global leadership in counterterrorism, their combined approach could take actually several forms. Let me tell you this for diplomatic pressure.
Hmm.
They can put diplomatic pressure on Bangladesh, both India and United States, US. If US put a pressure, that means European Union will come along, Australia, Canada, and everybody. Intelligence and security cooperation also there is very important, and economic and military leverage. But I would tell this military about the military if India and USA just take the steps that Bangladeshi military cannot give security for their own people, how they will go to as a UN peacekeeper to another country, because they are the main executor of devil hunts. Let me tell you that here is a big uh, we need to define who is devil and hunt. No people hunt people. That is not civilized world. It never, even military, they don't use that. Hunting means you can do anything with that. So that is very important to understand that India is a power and America is a superpower. India is regional power going to be into a superpower. India and America, if come together, Bangladesh army really cannot go to UN as a
Hmm.
peacekeeping force. That is, and lately I will say regional stability concern is a big concern. So if India has any doubt, India has already doubt, but he's playing very, very slowly, very gently. That is my opinion. He's not showing any aggression to Bangladesh, but Bangladeshi government every day trying to shows their
Hmm.
aggression to India.
Right.
Maybe the game is coming from outside, but Modi and Trump made it clear we are friends. We will not let China, we will not anybody else to interfere the regional stability. Thank you.
Okay. Aside of these latest developments, especially the Modi Trump talks, how do you assess the next move of the political wheel by the Awami League?
That is very interesting. Actually, if we want to talk about particularly Awami League, before I start, I would say yes, it seems to be that in Bangladesh now all the political small and big fraction together is against Awami League. The Awami League next political move will likely depend on several key domestic and international factors, particularly given the recent discussion between US and US President and Indian Prime Minister here in there. Here are some possible scenarios that I can share with you. They need to come forward with political agenda like internally their leadership, new leadership, freshman leadership or something like that, because the young people, the most of the young people, they already have this narrative in their brain that the all party members, I mean, last 5 to 10 years, all were corrupted. So somehow they have to work on that. They have to get out from this. Navigating international pressure, that is very important for Awami League, because the Yunus government is not Yunus government. It's actually nobody, I believe, this is the first person I am telling that Bangladesh power is in Yunus. No, army is in the power, and the army is actually playing. They are not showing their face, but they are doing everything to come to bring to the power Islamic some forces. I do not know why they are like that, but that's why Awami League must work or navigate international pressure on them. Tactical reform, as I told you already, they have to do some tactical reform inside the party. Also, they have to come forward if somebody from Awami League, someone say he is did something wrong. Awami League should say yes. Let's go to fair judgment. I mean, fair, independent scrutiny and investigation, and so Awami League has to say that.
Right.
Economic challenges also there. The
Okay.
Awami League, that people I mean, supporter of Awami League, they are left behind. No party leaders is there. So general supporters, they are suffering a lot. That is also a big issue they have to take care. Preparing for the next election, hook or crook, there will be election. It will be I mean, it will, let me say, it will be a good election, bad election, like that. Good election, that means fair election. In Bangladesh, that is already proven that Dr. Yunus government is anti-Awami League. So if Awami League is the part of that election, Awami League right now they have to mobilize the people that they are coming to the election, and they will challenge any bad action from the government. So this is what I think. Awami League has to do a lot of things.
Okay, so you're mentioning Dr. Yunus's government, and do you think somewhere this meeting is going to put pressure on Dr. Yunus because he's been allegedly uh, patronizing anti-liberation elements a lot?
Of course, Tulika, thank you so much for asking this question. It is already very clear because first and foremost, forget about Bangladesh. First, Dr. Yunus personally was telling when President Donald Trump was elected back to 2016, that is a dark cloud on not only on America, is global. So this election and his elected presidency was not welcomed by Dr. Yunus that time. So Donald Trump never forget the thing what somebody selling. This is one thing. Second thing, that Bangladesh nowadays, every day you see everybody was Western world. Let me exclude President Donald Trump, but Western world like European Union and politician in Washington D.C. they were telling us that, oh, Dr. Yunus, give him time. He's a good person. We know him. He's a good person. But nowadays they say, oh my God, this is Dr. Yunus. We never thought about it. We never expected this. So here is the situation. Dr. Yunus is supporter, unfortunately. He's supporting or he's being supported by Islamic radical in Bangladesh, because all the Hizb ut-Tahrir is a banned organization in India, in Bangladesh, in European Union, even in USA, and they are the part of that government. One of his advisor is directly member of that organization. Yesterday, the so-called mirror house, the Aina Ghar, when he visited, I have so many pictures that the radicals are with him, who they were in the jail when Hasina was in power. So it is complete. It is so clear and proven that Dr. Yunus he is supporting them, and they are also supporting him and part of Bangladesh army.
Hmm. Right. Let's talk about India a little bit. Now, India has made very clear that it wants Indo-Bangla ties to improve. We are neighbors. We've had this whole history, and India has also recently given some aid to Bangladesh and restarted steps to improvisation of ties. At the same time, when it comes to any kind of hints at extradition requests for former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, India has, kind of stayed quiet on that and not allowed that to happen. Where do you think will Prime Minister Modi's next steps will be after this very significant statement by Trump?
That is very complicated to answer, actually. We have to wait for that. But one thing I must mention here that it is already, you can say, acid tested that Bangladesh and India is the best friend because not only 1971, since 1971, our independent war, and after this until today, India is our I mean, Bangladesh best friend. In that situation, what happened that Indian Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi had a very same situation in 1971 when he was trying to convince his cabinet that we have to help Bengalis in Bangladesh for their independency. But in that situation also there are some speculation that same thing would happen what happening today after our independency, but it's never happened from 1971 until 2024. It's never happened. So Srimati Indira Gandhi was completely right. But situation now is the day situation is we are back to 71, and Modi is facing same question to his cabinet and to his political supporter that this is a pocket of Islamic extremist. Why we will leave them like this way? But this is not true. Bangladeshis, all Bengalis, we are real friend of India, and India also good friend of Bangladesh. And what happening right now, that is, that it is a geopolitical game, and there everything Bangladesh government is now taking action. I do not have any proof, but we strongly believe that is influence from West, like Pakistan, and also China is getting a lot of space there. What Yunus government is doing. So that should be a big headache for India. So in that situation, Prime Minister Modi is a very smart politician. I strongly believe that he will play the right trump soon.
Okay, great. Well, you were there, you were at the scene of the bilateral talks, the press conferences, you've seen this 2-day visit very closely. What do you think is the kind of sentiment among the Bangladesh community in the US?
I was not only this time, I seen Indian Prime Minister Modi in the White House. This is second time. Last time he was visiting White House when Biden was there, and actually that time it was really a royal celebration. Over 5,000 Indian American were inside the White House and on the garden. But this time it was even more friendly atmosphere. How I would say that President Donald Trump was telling that how he visited India when he was president, and also his best friend Modi was visiting Washington D.C. And he also mentioned that how he liked to cooperate with India. An Indian Prime Minister Modi was his speech was or is always in Hindi. I was listening in English. He combined somehow. I cannot tell you what the word he combined. He combined mega with his one project in India, and together that will be a really mega project to celebrate what he was explaining. That is the atmosphere was there. President Donald Trump was always looking at like friendly looking. That was the very different when Biden was there, because Biden was very, I mean, official. He was talking and not looking to the PM. And this atmosphere is really, I mean, friendly and very warm, welcoming. And
Right.
Donald Trump, last time I do not know if he received the Guard of Honor, but this time the whole garden was with the military professional and Guard of Honor when his car was coming to the White House from the front gate, not from the side gate. So this is
Okay.
the atmosphere actually.
So very friendly, warm vibes and a very charged atmosphere. What do you think is the sentiment among the Bangladeshi community?
Thank you again. The Bangladeshi community, let me start from another scenario. I think around 1,000 or more than 1,000 Bangladeshi American were demonstrating, and they were gathering in front. There Prime Minister Modi, and they are also chanting congratulations, President Donald Trump, and they were demanding democracy. They were demanding step down Professor or Dr. Yunus. And this atmosphere, I took. I was there actually physically, and I was doing some live and taking some pictures, some videos. The atmosphere, when I asked them why you were here, they told that two of the superpower, I mean, a state president and prime minister is sitting to talk about the world, not only about Bangladesh, but our demand that what's going on in Bangladesh, they have to know, and that's why we are here. They also submitted some kind of their demand on the paper, I mean petition, I feel, and they hand over to the White House, also to the State Department. So among Bangladesh, India, I mean, Bangladeshi Americans, they came to show their anger, what is going on Bangladesh, and they hope that Indian Prime Minister and American President, they will take some kind of action. It can be diplomatic, it can be any other, so that Bangladesh the people can live in harmony. I mean, not in this mob society that everything is demolishing by mob, and there is no government forces, and mob can kill anybody. No, there is no law for that, or law enforcement, or any kind of this. So Bangladeshi Americans are hoping there should be some action from these two countries.
Well, indeed, the hope remains. Thank you very much, Dastagir Jahangir, joining us live from Washington, D.C. With that, it's a wrap. I'm Tulika bringing you this special coverage, and I'll be back with more. Do stay tuned.